Your company is in the market this year for an SD-WAN solution, but you're wondering, out of all the vendors out there, hey, you Googled it, you saw there's a ton of different SD-WAN vendors out there, which vendors should make your company's short list for quoting? Well, it just so happens that that's my job. I'm a broker for all the major SD-WAN vendors out there, and I do this every day. I help customers narrow the field and decide which vendors they should be looking at. So this is something I can definitely help you out with. If you'd like my personal advice, my customized advice, reach out, send me an email, give me a call. I'd love to help you with it. I will help you make a lot better decision in a fraction of the time. More information on that at the end of the video. But for the sake of this video, what I wanted to do is give you some insight into how I make those decisions for companies, what things I look at when I'm narrowing the field of SD-WAN vendors for a customer of mine. So my name is Mike Smith. I'm the president of AeroCom. Let's put our heads together on this. Which SD-WAN vendors are the best that your company should be quoting? Well, the real question you should be asking is, which SD-WAN vendors are the best fit for your company? Because there's a lot of SD-WAN vendors out there, and I can tell you there's a lot of good ones, but they're not all the same. They all have a niche, and they all really specialize in one thing or another, or maybe a couple things or another. And there's some areas they're just not the best in. Although you'll never hear that from a rep. They'll never tell you that hey, we're not really the best fit for you. They're going to try to sell you no matter what. So how do you defend against that? What questions should you be asking? Well, I can tell you what questions I will be asking you when you call me and send me an email. So that's what I'm gonna do today is I'm gonna go through some of the basic questions. There's a ton of questions I ask depending on your answers to my initial questions. So I can't cover all of them in this video, but I'm gonna cover the basic questions that I always ask. All of the questions really surround one item, which is, what is the pain point that you're trying to alleviate with the SD-WAN solution? What are you trying to achieve? What's the pain point? Or hey, what area are you really trying to improve? If it's not too much pain, but you think you could be a lot better in this one area, what is that? For instance, are you trying to improve a cloud application's performance or its availability? If that's the case, there are some ways you can do it over a what I call cloud-enabled SD-WAN solution. If you don't know what that is, refer to my videos about the different cloud or the different architectures of SD-WAN. But maybe you can do express routes or peering through a cloud-enabled solution, or maybe you want an on-prem solution for your SD-WAN. It just kind of depends. So we'd have to dive a little bit deeper into that, but that's one question you should be asking yourself. Are we trying to really improve a cloud application? Another item you might be thinking of is, hey, is there an application you're running out of a data center that you want to improve? You want to improve the availability, you want to improve the performance. Some ways you might think of doing that with an SD-WAN is, maybe using a cloud-enabled SD-WAN service provider that has their own private IP backbone. So maybe you're trying to send stuff globally, and the IP backbone is going to help you send that data across a global network without interference as opposed to the public internet. What about security? Maybe security is the reason that you're trying to look at SD-WAN. Maybe that's a pain point for you. Vendor consolidation. You want to say, hey, we want to go into the SD-WAN provider. We also want to consolidate our security solution into that so we don't have as many vendors that we're working with on our network. Well, if that's the case, you're going to be wanting to look into an SD-WAN vendor that's more of a SASE SD-WAN vendor, or maybe a CASB SD-WAN vendor that supplies maybe next-gen security on the network, or a vendor that goes even a step further and does detection and response on your network, or some other type of security like a managed SIM, network security, stuff like that. So if you want to know more about those topics, look at my videos on CASB and SASE. Another pain point you might want to be thinking about that, hey, is this the problem, is are you looking to consolidate vendors when it comes to other things, not just security, but what about ISP services? What about Your phone system, do you want that with the same vendor as your SD-WAN service? What about your switches? Do you want your SD-WAN vendor to also provide you with managed switches at all your sites so you don't have to have that under your umbrella? Along the same lines, what about Wi-Fi access points? Do you want your SD-WAN vendor to step in and also provide you with managed Wi-Fi access points at all of your sites? So vendor consolidation, putting all of that into one vendor, phone system, ISP services, switches, Wi-Fi access points. Is that an option for you? Well, if that's the case, obviously that's going to narrow it to the vendors who can supply you with the SD-WAN service you want in addition to those other things. But those are the things that I'm going to be asking you. So when you call, those are the things I want to know, because those are really the hinge points that create, differentiators in my mind of which vendors will be the best fit for your company to be looking into for SD-WAN. But if you want to keep it simple, like I said, just reach out and contact me. It's the reason why I do these videos. Send me an email, give me a call, and I'd love to help you with this. I'm a broker for all the major SD-WAN vendors in the marketplace, and I've been doing this for over 20 years. So I know all the vendors inside and out. I know the landscape. I know which vendors have a great reputation, which ones have a poor reputation, which ones can do the things that we talked about today. And after our initial discovery conversation, I'll give you probably 2 to 4 vendors that I'd recommend you quote. I'll introduce you to those vendors. I'll introduce you to the best sales reps to work with at those vendors. I'll help you set up a demo presentation call with them. I'll be on the call with you. I'll oversee the quoting process to make sure you get the best pricing that vendor offers, that I've seen them offer my other customers. And on top of all that, I will do all of that for you at no charge to your company, because the SD-WAN vendors pay me my broker fee. So your company doesn't have to pay me anything. So there's no excuse not to at least reach out and get my opinion on this stuff. So send me an email, give me a call. I'd love to help you out with this project. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of my future videos. If you like the video, hit the like button. And as always, leave me a comment down below. I'd love to hear from you. All right, well, thanks again for watching, and I will catch you on the next one.